is just a real simple matter of coming by and putting your cable down into the trench. Rita, that you're gonna shock yourself. It's just a real simple matter. Rita! Rita, get out of here. You just gotta walk by. Look, it's not rocket science. There's not, no.
I'm just an average man with an average life. I work from 9 to 5. Hey, I pay the price. All I want to do is be left alone in my average home. But why do I always feel like I'm in the twilight zone? And I always feel like somebody's watching me. Oh, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Tell me, is it just a dream? When I come home at night, I bolt the door really tight. People call me almost all I'm trying to avoid, but then the people on TV see me and I get paranoid. When I'm in the shower, I'm afraid to wash my hair.
Hey folks, Longhorn Lester here. Do you ever feel like somebody's watching you? Well, guess what? They are. As a matter of the same way you would not very easily walk down amongst all of these horses, so should you be equally careful when you begin to browse, shop, and use banking online.
Sponsored by.
That's why I'm really glad to have Surfshark VPN, my virtual private network. Believe it or not, the older you get, the more vulnerable you become to folks who prey on people just like us. What a VPN does is allows you to stay hidden from all of those large companies or cyber criminals who want to cause you damage. What you may not know is that they've identified over 1 million malicious websites that are trying to find ways into your personal data. Surfshark VPN can stop all that before it happens. Do you ever find yourself using public Wi-Fi? Oh, I do. And that's when we're at our most vulnerable. Guys, Surfshark VPN will make it to where when you're on a public Wi-Fi, you still can be extremely safe from all the folks trying to find themselves into your phone or your device. You know what's a little bit crazy is that when you have a VPN like Surfshark, you can actually hide yourself and pretend, or let's say virtually, put yourself anywhere in the world. And by doing that, it makes you undetectable by all of these folks trying to get into your account. If you're a survivor like Ivy and you're trying to find a way to survive such a malicious online world, hey, use this code, the promo code Survivor Sanctuary. I'll put that link down below and you can join us as we navigate ourselves through the very scary world of the internet.
Go to surfshark.com/survivor sanctuary or use code Survivor Sanctuary at checkout to get from months of Surfshark.
The same way as we have to sometimes close these doors to protect our babies from the outside world and all the things that can harm them, so too does Surfshark. VPN, close the door into your social media, your banking, your online presence in general. It keeps you protected from all the online sources of danger. I just come up with that one. I literally just came up with that. That was nothing from Surfshark. That was all me. That was pretty good. That was actually really good, if I can say so myself. Protect your babies. Protect us. Surfshark. shouldn't make videos on days like today because I'm upset. Actually, I'm just downright furious. Just downright furious. And I'm going to tell you, I won't say any names, but I'm just so furious right now at what happened. How people on freaking Marketplace, just such BS. I had to go to my son's football game, and I left this guy in charge, and I swear to God, worst mistake of my life, because I come back that night, and it's just, I paid a guy $500. And that's just for the labor. $500 to do a job. He come out, I showed him the job. I had all the materials, all that he needed. It was just a simple matter of tying in some electrical work and putting it in the same hole that the last guys did on a water line they run. And if I don't get over here and look, this is my horse pasture. This is my horse pasture. This is a live electrical current that is just sitting here in my horse pasture.
Sponsored by.
I paid to have a box put there. I paid to run 300 foot of line from here and tie in to that one right over there. And I paid to have this line buried. And I says, Bud, it'll be real easy. I says, because there's already an existing line that the guy did not bury very good, which was another pain in the ass. But the guy who come by and put the water line here, I'm not going to say any names, come by here and buried me a water line and didn't fill it in very good. I need 2 hands to do this job. I said, you just come by with this and you pick it out, put that right in the same place. You just come by and you pick it out. It's about 200 foot. And if you're going to sit there and say, well, Lester, that's manual labor. You can't expect no one to do manual labor for $500. You can't expect a man to come out for $500 and tie it in right there, unroll it to there, and tie it in. That was about an hour's job. Okay? And then the other job was to come by where there's already a trench. There's already a trench. You can see the original trenching here. I says, take the pickaxe and just chip it out. Well, you can see what he left me with, and he's run off with my $500. Oh, don't worry. When I sent a text saying WTH and a few other choice words, I'm like, this is a horse pasture. There's animals out here. What the H is this? And he's like, oh, my aunt had an emergency and I had to leave. I said, you don't leave live electrical wire laying across a horse pasture. Bud, listen to me. I'm about done with people. Just done with cheap. And here's the thing. You want to know something? I got all these pictures, boy. He sent me all these pictures of lights on, making me think what a hell of a job. Sitting there, me saying, man, that looks great, Bud. Thanks for doing that, man. We really appreciate that. We needed power up there for a long time. You're all right. Now, I'll go ahead and add one more thing to it. He also told me he'll put me a switch at the barn. A switch. One switch at the main barn that I could turn on and turn off and control all of my lights out here. There ain't no switch. There ain't no switch. He comes out, gives me a price. We agree on it, and I'm thinking, and I even told him, I says, $500 for a job that you'll be able to do in half a day is pretty damn good money. I says, I don't know anybody who makes $500 for half a day's work. He goes, no, man, this is, I appreciate you, man. This is awesome. I appreciate you. I'll do you a good job. Well, here's the job. Here's the good job. Effing laid in the water. I'm sick of people. I'm just sick and tired of people. The ground is hard. The ground is hard. How much y'all want to bet? How much you want to bet that fella got over here and says, ooh, this ground is hard. Ooh, this ground is pretty hard. I better find an excuse not to be here. How much you want to bet that's what happened? He found himself an excuse not to be here because he did not want to do what I just did right there for 200 foot. And you know what I told him? I says, listen, I says, you only got to chip it out so far. Just chip it out so far. It says the water line is about 1 foot deep. You can chip out about 6 inches. And I says, put the line in that hole. And then I says, I will bring my bucket over with sand. And we can kind of like let you just scoop out of the bucket to fill in. Offered to help him with the filling the hole in. I'm not here trying to get a bunch of sympathy. I don't know why I'm even telling you this, but it just goes to show you the work ethic of people today. And I'll say this again, I very seldom talk about it, because I have always said we want to be a channel to build people up, not knock people down. Which one, I'm not going to tell you any names, but I will say this. In the last 7 or 8 years that we've been doing the social media, we made a few dollars, enough to do jobs and have people hire out for jobs, contract type work. We have more than, I don't know the exact numbers, but I can count on one hand, the really quality people out there in the world. And I don't have enough fingers or toes to tell you how many people have done similar jobs as this guy right here did. And it just makes you just lose faith in everything except for these babies right here. And I'm so happy you didn't step on that and shock yourself, baby. That would be horrible. It would have been a lot of work go to waste. Anyway, I don't know electricity. I don't know how it works. I don't want to do anything to fry and all of our circuits and everything. So I had to hire. Sometimes if you don't know what you're doing, you have to hire. And I guess in this day and age, you just better not pay someone till the job is completely done. And I just trusted. And that's what you get for trusting. At what point in history did men forget how to use a rake? When? When did men forget how to use a rake? When did men forget how to get off their gosh darn butts and rake dirt back into a hole? It's just a real simple matter of coming by and putting your cable down into the trench. Rita, that you're gonna shock yourself. It's just a real simple matter. Rita, get out of here. You just gotta walk by. Look, it's not rocket science. There's nothing rocket science about this. Oh, well, Lester, if it's so easy, why don't you do it yourself? Because I went to my son's football game is why. I had a football game to go to, and I don't know how to do electricity. What you want me to do, pay the guy for half a job, and I'll do the other half? Well, I'm doing it now, ain't I? I'm doing it now, and I done paid him for the full job. I'm paying, and I'm still self. I'm sorry. I'm not mad. God's gonna punish me. God's gonna punish me if I'm not careful. Rita, God's gonna punish me if I ain't careful. He's gonna punish me if I ain't careful, if I keep talking mess, ain't he? Alright. I'm sorry, guys. I just frustrated. Just so frustrated. Alright, friends. Everything has been trenched and buried the right way now. That was one heck of a job. But I'll tell you what, it only took a couple of hours. And so now our horses are safe from electrical currents, electricity, and as you can see, we have power to our barn. Actual power.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.